Be Too Crazy here, back with another video for y'all. This one's a big one, y'all. This video is big. I mean big. I've spent $1,400 collecting all these parts to get my PC going, and we still have one more part coming, and that's the 4070 Super, which is soon to come. Amazon is playing with me, y'all. I'll be having that soon, though. So these are all the parts I have now. But y'all see what we have. We have an i5 and we have a 4070 Super coming. So that's pretty much what y'all need to know about the PC right now. We can get into the builds and talk about more of the specs here in a second. I'm going to unbox the motherboard and then we'll get into it. After we unbox the motherboard, I'm going to tell you guys what to do after that. I'm going to clear this junky desk off first. The three main parts we'll be focusing on right now is the Intel i5 right here. I have the i5 12600K. And that's with the integrated graphics. That's why I got the 1200K. And then we got the MSI motherboard with Wi-Fi, DDR4. And then we got our case. I'm going to link all the products on screen here. Alright, so we got our motherboard out of the box. This is it on the box. MSI motherboard, Wi-Fi, DDR4. Excuse my mouse, I'll move it out of the way. Now we got to put the i5 in the motherboard, so we're going to do that now. Let me unbox the i5. This is exactly where I had to pause and watch a video. So when you get your Intel i5 out, you don't want to touch the bottom at all. You don't want to touch the bottom, so keep your fingers on the side. Look for this little triangle. Look for the gold triangle on the bottom left or anywhere on the card on the edges. And then you want to find the triangle on your board. And then you want to match that up. And then you'll pull this lever up. You'll be able to take this off and you'll be able to slide the i5 in. So let's do that real quick. I don't have two hands, so I'm going to get this in there and then we'll cut back. Alright, so I did have it right in the bottom left of the i5 is where the arrow is on my i5, and then the bottom left down here is where you put that in. So I'm going to gently put that in real quick, and we'll cut back when that is in. So the i5 is in the board now, and it's snug. You can move it around a tiny bit to make sure it is all the way in there, and it's not moving anywhere. As you can see, there's my triangle, there's my triangle. So now our next step would be clicking this down and getting the black piece off the top. So we can shut this. I think you can twist it, but you push down on this left side and this black piece will pop off the top of your i5, and then make sure it's all the way down. Bring this back down on the clips and make sure it is seated, and just bring it all the way back down. Make sure you don't slide your motherboard off the table. Just bring it all the way back down, put it under that clip, and your CPU is installed in your motherboard. So now we will be cutting to DDR4. We'll be putting our DDR4 sticks in. For the DDR4, we'll be using T-Force 32 gigabyte, and I have two of them, so there will be have 64 gigabytes in our motherboard. So let's get into installing them real quick. So we got our 4 DDR4 sticks, and we're going to slide them in here. Make sure all these are pushed open so you can put them in here. So there's 3 of them in. As you see, when you click them in, that goes back down, and that's the open one. I'm going to put my last one in here. But before we jump into that, do hit the subscribe button. We are at 114 subs right now, 209 videos posted. We are on the grind right now. As you see, we are building this PC, and content is just going to keep getting better and better. So hit the sub button for me. As you can see, all 4 sticks of RAM are in, so that's what they look like. They will be RGB when the motherboard is lit up with power. And so we're going to jump into our M.2 right here. It is located right here on the MSI motherboard. So let's jump into the M.2. The M.2 I chose for my motherboard or my PC build would be the Crucial 1TB P3, the M.2 SSD. This is a pretty cheap option. Went for about $60. I'll link it on the screen. But let's just put it in the motherboard, and I'll show you guys how to take this off real quick with a small screwdriver. Okay, so now we got our M.2 with our little screw right here. Do not lose this screw. You need this screw. And we're going to take this off with a mini screwdriver kit. You can get a mini screwdriver kit on Amazon or anywhere else for PC building. So let's get this off real quick. It takes a mini screwdriver bit, literally a Phillips head. So let's get that off. So we got the Crucial P3 in the M.2 slot. Now we're going to put the screw in, and we're going to put the cover back on. We're going to clip to that when the cover's back on. That's pretty simple. We just put the screw in there after you slide it in the slot. And that was pretty easy for me. So let's just cut it after. Well, I made an error last time, but I fixed it. I had the M.2 down here on the extra slot, but I put it in the original slot now because I was confused why the bracket was getting on the top. So we're going to put the extra screw in. Actually, we do not need the screw that came with the mother or the SSD, and we need the one that came with the motherboard. So let's just put the one with the motherboard into it now and then put the other screw back on. Okay, so now we have the M.2 installed, the i5 installed, our DDR4 installed. Now we need to do the CPU cooler and rearrange the fans in there. So in the PC case, so let's do that. For the cooler, we'll be using the Kraken 240, and we'll be putting that on the top of the PC case up here. Here's the PC case without the glass panel on the side. The buttons are down here, 2 USBs, a USB-C, and an LED button, and there's an aux jack. But let's get into the Kraken installation of there, and I'll show you how to install this up there. Before we do that, I want to get this motherboard up here on the standoff and screw that in because this is just messy right here on my desk. So let's get that done. So let's grab our motherboard screws. Your motherboard screws are marked in your case box, and I got them out of here. It says motherboard, or I don't know which way y'all can see it, but it says motherboard and SSD screws right there. So let's just put the screws on each corner where these standoffs were in the case, and I think I have like I have like 9 or 8 or something like that. So let's just get into it real quick. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not trying to break anything, but there's the back of the motherboard apply. We're going to set it back down and put the standoffs in on this side. As you can see, the standoffs are now poking through. We're going to put the screws that came in the package in now. So let's cut to that. Standoffs are in. Here's the standoffs on this side. We put 4 of them in, and the back plate is still on the back of the motherboard. Now we will be mounting the actual cooler to the top of the case, and we'll be doing that now. Well, did another oopsies. I had those on the top last time. I had to move them from the bottom and screw those in like that. So that's in there. And what I did learn, this is thermal paste already included, so I do not have to put thermal paste. This can go straight on the Intel, and that is really good. So we'll apply that in a second. But let's get the power cables into this and run them through it, and then we can put that onto the motherboard and put the motherboard in. So as y'all see, I have laid down the PC. Don't mind the shirt. And as you see, we laid down the PC. Now it's laid flat. We took the plastic off the end. This already has thermal paste on it, like I said. So we're just gonna put that onto the i5 now, laying it flat, and we're gonna be putting that in there and putting the standoff screws on, the cap screws. It's kind of messy. We got to do some figuring out, but we have this mounted now up top. The CPU cooler is mounted up top. It is routed like this. I will fix these cables up here in a little bit, make them look nicer. And let's connect these cables. I'll cut back when we connect the cables, but we're looking really nice right now. Let me guys know in the comments if you see something wrong with this. I will take it apart and redo it. If you guys see something wrong with it, please do let me know. This is my first PC build. Let's just connect these cables how they say to connect these cables now, and see where we go. As you guys see, I did take some time by myself. I plugged all the fans in for the Kraken 240 that I put up top, the liquid cooler, and I plugged in the SATA power cable for the CPU cooler, and I plugged in everything for the Tough Power GF1 850 power supply. So the CPU is connected, SATA power cable is connected, everything's connected. The CPU has power going to it. This is what the front looks like. Let me show you that real quick. This is what the front looks like after I'm done building it. And all I need to do is put my 4070 Super in there now. Yep. But that will be coming soon. And I'll be doing another video once I get my GPU in. So stay tuned for that. Do hit the subscribe button for me. But this is what it looks like right now. We can see if it boots up, but we cannot run it. Obviously, nothing will produce on the monitor yet. But yep, that's what it looks like. I'm not going to worry about too much cable managing right now because I'm just worried about seeing if it runs. This is my first PC build. Let me know if you guys see anything wrong with it. Can you type in the comments, please? Let me know if I need to switch my fans around right up there because I think they're blowing out right now. I can't tell if they're blowing in or out. But guys, let me know if there's anything else I can do right now. So that ends day one. First day of building the brand new PC, the first time I've ever built a PC. This is what it looks like. I've already asked you guys for a little bit of help, but I think I've got it. I turned it on. It does run. It does come up with a light because there's not a GPU in it yet, but I will get that soon in the mail. Amazon's playing with me right now, so we'll be getting that soon. I did plug it in already, as you see, so it is ready. I just gotta put the GPU in, install everything, get through the BIOS, all that. So I might upload this video and then upload another video when my GPU comes in, guys. So stay tuned, subscribe, like as always.